In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the job boards where they have the best product manager jobs that, honestly speaking, you should be applying to first every single day, but nobody talks about them. And they are from tech recruiting agencies. So for some of you who may or may not know, my name is Rich. I'm one of the co-founders here at Product Gym. But my background is I actually came from the tech recruiting, tech staffing world. So these are companies that basically, I'm going to show you a few of them here. Brain Trust is one I'm going to mention today. Insight Global is another one that I'm going to mention. Cyber Coders is going to be another one that I'm going to mention. Motion Recruitment Partners is another one that I'm going to go ahead and mention. These are basically agencies that are contracted by companies to help them hire for product managers. The other thing here is, I know y'all are super busy right now, so we scraped up all of the roles, we scraped up the links, we gave you guys all of this information here where it's full-time, contract, salary minimum, salary maximum, who the recruiter is, and how you can go out there and get in touch with this person. And to show y'all what a nice guy I am, because I know everybody right now is extremely pressed for time, I'm also going to be walking you through some sample message templates, as well as some of the additional tips that I'll have. Watch this video in its entirety. You do not want to go ahead and miss out on this, and I'm going to show you where you can get access to this Airtable at the very end of the video. So to give you guys some context first, why would a company hire a product manager? Well, why would a company hire a product manager from a tech recruiting agency like this? This is called Insight Global, or like a Cyber Coders, or like a Motion Recruitment Partners. Why would they go ahead and utilize agencies? Why would they not go ahead and just go with Indeed or with LinkedIn? When companies are utilizing a staffing agency to go ahead and fill a hire, chances are when you click on any one of these roles, like instant payments for a product manager, and this one here is a contract, and I know some of you may not care for contract, but let's go ahead and take a look at like senior product manager for medical aesthetic devices, or senior or product manager of SaaS, or head of product of streaming right here, 250 to 260K in my hometown of not West Hollywood, but Los Angeles. Why would a company go ahead and utilize an agency to go ahead and hire for this role? A company would utilize an agency and pay them an agency fee anywhere between, I've seen it go from as low as 10% upwards to 20 to 30%, because they need that person urgently. And when you post up a product manager role on a LinkedIn or Indeed, you get a lot of traffic, but a lot of that traffic is actually, unfortunately, very unqualified people, and they don't want to spend their time sorting and sifting through the rubble. They would much rather go ahead and buy time. On average, when I was in the industry, I remember reading somewhere in a pamphlet during, I think, orientation week, that it would take a company anywhere between $4,000 or $6,000. Time spent is $4,000 to $6,000 to hire a person to come into the team. This is actually why when people talk to me about like recruiting or talent acquisition economics, why would a company pay you $2,000 to go ahead and refer somebody to work at the company that you're working at right now? Because you're actually saving the company so much more time by bringing in somebody that's in your network. Granted that they are good and they do know how to interview, and they are going to go ahead and pass, because it's not like, hey, y'all have friends, come and go ahead and work here. So one of the reasons is because this is a very urgent hire. The second reason why they would go ahead, possibly the second reason why they would go ahead and hire this person, is they would rather go through an agency. Because if you notice something about all these roles, whether it's for Motion, whether it's for Cyber Coders, whether it's for Insight Globals, they do not list out the company names. So why don't they list out the company name? They don't list out the company name because this is, effectively speaking, this is the client. And there's a reason for that. It's very, it could be very legitimate that they do not want the people at the current company knowing that they're hiring for this role. This is sometimes, I'm choosing my words very carefully, sometimes dubbed as something called the stealth or covert hire. It's not exactly official industry jargon, but this is when they see a person that's on the team that is a problem. But if we terminate this individual, it's going to create a bigger problem for us. So what we want to go ahead and do is, let's hire an agency outside. Let's go outside the family, as sometimes we would say back in the old days. Let's get them to hire somebody, and let's bring that person in, because if we fire or terminate our current director or head of product right now, it's going to be an even bigger catastrophe. So we have to just keep this person on board for the time being. And that could sometimes be the case. So it's either urgency or they got to go ahead and do it covertly for a number of reasons. Or the third thing is, well, overall, if they just received funding, this is also another reason. If they had just received funding, they need a recruiter to go out there and hire for them because they don't have their own recruiter. So some of the clients that were my best clients, and a lot of my other colleagues, it was their best clients too, were startups that just got funding. And those are very exciting opportunities for you because you've never heard of those companies before. And I can also say this, in the market that we're in right now, it is the hardest time to secure any type of funding at all. So if you can go ahead and acquire, and this is my AirPod that I'm holding on to. Sometimes people actually give me a little comment like, is he jeweling? No, it's my AirPods. I like to hold on to stuff when I'm talking. Sometimes when people are actually, when startups, money's tight and they got to go ahead and ramp up, they don't have the funds to hire a recruiter because there's nobody to hire, because they have no money to pay those people and they're not exactly growing. But as soon as you have just acquired funding, the next thing that you want to go ahead and do is this. As soon as you acquire funding, the next thing that you want to go ahead and do is you want to go ahead and start hiring some people. But the only problem is because recruiters don't contribute revenue towards the company, you know who ends up, like, there's nobody. I mean, I, as one of the co-founders of this startup, I can go out there and help hire, but do I really want to go ahead and sort all these resumes and book the screenings, gather the feedback, send the case study? It's a full-time job. That's why there's recruiters that work at companies, and there's talent acquisition specialists that work at agencies to go ahead and help facilitate this entire process. So standard rate, I don't think is about 20% or 25%. But let's just make the math easy because I wasn't really good at math in school. 20% of a one-time full-time placement is 20 G's. That's a lot cheaper than you having to go out there and hire a recruiter right now in-house. And sometimes companies do contract staffing agencies to hire a recruiter for them. Sometimes if you do such a good job recruiting people for your company, what ends up happening is they actually end up propositioning the recruiter that's working at the staffing agency. This happened to me a few times where they asked, would you rather, do you want to go ahead and come in, join our company, because it seems like you really understand what it is that we're trying to build here. Because building a very good team of really solid individuals, that's not exactly an easy thing to accomplish. So sometimes that happens. So a few reasons why they would go for a staffing agency. Now, they either don't want people to know that they're hiring for this role and they try and do it covertly. They're either really urgent for hiring this role and they're willing to go out there and spend money to go out there and buy time. Or the third thing here is they just don't have a recruiter. There's a few other reasons, but these are really the three main reasons, and then everything else is an outlier. Of course, I can always hear from some of the comments where people troll me, but I was a recruiter for two of the biggest companies for a while. So unless you know more than me, in which case, why don't you just start your own product, Jim? Those are really the three main reasons. So coming at it, you also know to prep for your interview just a little bit different as well. Because it's either, hey, is there a reason why we're going through an agency? Is it because you guys are extremely urgent to hire for this role? Is it because there's somebody that you want me to effectively replace that's currently on the team right now? And then the other reason is or did you guys just secure funding? If it's just they just secure funding, usually you can Google that news pretty quickly. Or sometimes they know somebody is about to quit. Actually, I just remember the fourth reason. Somebody is about to quit and they give them, standard professional courtesy as a 2-week notice. So they want to go ahead and fill the role as quickly as possible. So maybe you come in at the tail end. But the good news with this is when you go and you look up these roles, and let's just say the senior product manager role here, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, I know a lot of you guys are pressed for time, there is a recruiter that's listed. And if you search for that recruiter on LinkedIn, it's a very easy way for you to go ahead and get in contact with this person for, your time saved. I've already gathered up some of the names for these roles at the various places. As you can basically see here, these are different agencies. We're filling it out slowly but surely, and we're adding it on here. And you guys can go out there and reach out to them directly. In my next video, I will go ahead and actually talk about some of the messages that you can go out there and send to recruiters. But another thing that I really want you to go ahead and take away from is this. Reaching out to recruiters is like a phenomenal way for you to go ahead and actually really, I would say, proof up your career, because they are the ones that actually know about the roles before it's getting posted. And so much of the game right now, considering how fierce the competition is speed to lead. I can't stress this enough, because when they're posting up a role, people are just swarming and sharking it all at the same time. So you want to go ahead and get access to this. And you also want to go ahead and also keep a good relationship and keep following up with these people. Whether you are a good fit for this role or not, you want to get access to this resource, because if you had everybody just already lined up, you want to make it a part of your weekly routine, or at least every 2 weeks, or definitely at least every single month, asking them, hey, what roles do you have to come up? Because this is a business here, and there's a bunch of roles coming through. Now, without further ado, I want to go ahead and also drop this one thing as kind of like my gift to you. In the description, you can go ahead and track this one. This is called Brain Trust, and they have everything from full-time to contract product manager roles, as well as a few other tech roles, not only in the US, but all over the world. But the really cool thing is they use AI to go ahead and drive faster recruiting times. So it matches up with, like, as soon as you sign on, it basically just like it filters. It's phenomenal what these people are doing. One of my old colleagues actually works at this company right now, told me about the good work that they're doing, and I feel like so many aspects of recruiting that's just absolutely medieval. So if you go and check out the description, I do have a link right here where you guys can go ahead and utilize my link, get on that. Total disclaimer, I am going to get kicked back a little bit of something for you guys using this link. And I also recommend for other people to go ahead and refer other people there. But because him and I used to work together, like coming in from my link, like it does add you a little bit of benefit, and it does continue to help support our channel, so we can go ahead and keep on supporting you. With that said, please subscribe to us if you haven't already. I know 80% of you are watching these videos constantly, and I know most of you don't subscribe. Please subscribe. It really helps us. I'm trying to drop as many YouTube videos as possible for y'all. In my next video, I'm actually going to be walking you through, well, okay, Rich, thank you so much for putting all of this on an Airtable and telling me who to go ahead and contact. You can go ahead and get access to this resource, by the way, in my school community right here. The link is also in the description. I'm going to have some additional message templates for you as well here. But in my next video, I'm going to go ahead and talk about what you should send for your first message, your second message, your third message, your fourth message, your fifth message. I'm going to give you some tips on why to go ahead and do that, so you can go and basically streamline this process, because recruiters are extremely, extremely, extremely busy. Go ahead, reach out to me on LinkedIn. Definitely join my online community on school called Product Management Job Hunters. I'm looking forward to speaking with you more over there. And until next time, I'm looking forward to speaking with you very, very soon. Happy hunting.